Hello, peoples. What's up, you guys? That was a funny intro. So, get into it. Welcome. This is IER Vibes. I hope all of you has had a very wonderful day. Keeping a watch on the earthquake monitor. Take a look what is going on with the West Coast and going towards the east. We just talked about this just recently. Oklahoma is picking up on some seismic activity again, 2.8, and this was only 5.03 kilometers. But again, look where it's actually happening. These dots throughout the whole place, it's just everywhere you look. That's all you see. I mean, if you see housing anywhere within through these areas, you're kind of lucky, which I guess there is. But mind you, think of everybody who's living right in the heart of these things. Pretty crazy stuff. I mean, you can just see it from above. I mean, it's so far out on satellite, but then bam, you start zooming in. You guys, man, some crazy stuff, man. Really is. This stuff trips me out. I mean, how much can you literally just start shoving all up into the grounds, and holy cow. But yeah, so that's the reasons why these quakes are going off the way they are. Now there is a lot of seismic activity in the front along through the west. Now that is one that I have expected to come, but how are we going to see any big magnitudes? That's my question to you guys. What do you think? 3.0, and this was only at 17 kilometers in depth. And then also, we have another one. Take a look. But this is in Kansas. I know some people in Kansas out there. And basically 3.0 magnitude. And that was a super shallow 5 kilometers in depth. Now, does Kansas have any of the fracking issue going on? 3.4, 1.99 kilometers. Friend that new out there. Haven't heard from them for such a long time. But they live in Kansas, and all the quakes coming up from Oklahoma have ended up spreading through during some events that had happened, and you could feel from Oklahoma, and people thought the quakes actually happened in Kansas for many people. Pretty crazy stuff. Now let's zoom on out and let's see what's up with the West Coast. Now here is another new quake. Take a look at this. A place where I would love to be, and believe it or not, yes, unfortunately, zoom back in for you guys a little bit. Sorry about that. Now, you're going to see a lot of this stuff. It's just crazy. Now, you could clearly look how far out we are. We are totally way the hell out. Zoomed so far out of here. But then everywhere you look, bam, it is just smothered, you guys. There is a crap load of pumping going on all the way up and through all these areas. I mean, it is freaking loaded everywhere you freaking look. That's all it is. So bam, I mean, you guys, if this is pretty eerie stuff. I mean, excuse my French, you guys, but really that is a shit load of pumping. I mean, mind you. And this is up in Colorado's area. Colorado never used to be like this. Crazy stuff, you guys. But that's just how it is, unfortunately. But yeah, man. Boy. And this is not too far away. This is actually just right outside of Trinidad, Colorado. And this is just smothered all up into the hills. Everywhere you look. That's all you see. Just crazy. And yeah, because of those, there you go with a 3.0 at only 5 kilometers in depth. Gosh, you guys. I mean, what more can be done to make this planet worse than where it's headed already? Santa Barbara, Chalo, California. Take a look at this. We have another quake. 2.5 at super shallow 2 kilometers, you guys. That's shallow. That is very shallow. And also, believe it or not, somewhere around here, I mentioned this before. You guys probably heard me this a couple of times, but there is a between. Let me see here. So we gotta come up further in. But anyhow, basically, along the coast, west coast California, you have a nuclear facility site, and if there was a big quake that happened somewhere within that magnitude, like I said, you guys, that'd be freaking another Fukushima if it just struck right in the exact perfect area to set that thing to go foof. We'd be screwed. 3.1. And this was another shallow 5.97 kilometers in depth. But no, there's a lot to the Fukushima deal still going on. People still talking about it. And of course, it should be something that should be talked about just because of the situation that everything's at. Here, let's see if it was. Okay, so I was going to try to show you guys that plant. I'll just get the exact coordinates, and next time I do the update, we'll take a look at that. And it'll trip you guys out. Some pretty cool stuff. But anyhow, all these people, think about it. Everybody who's all living along through these areas right here. I mean, all through here, you guys. I mean, this is all housing, from condos, housing, you name it, just everything would be gone in a heartbeat. And everything within its path, probably even as far up Happy Valley area. Of course, we're a forest, nice and state park. All these areas would just be freaking gone. Crazy stuff going on. Now, Yellowstone, nothing much to be going on. But again, despite all the other quakes that have been happening, only one so far, take a look, it's just this one. On top of the other two. And only 2 and 3 magnitude quakes. But when is it going to be a big one? Now this swarm, which is a new one, has got me a little bit here. And same with this swarm. Same thing. So, despite with them being where they are at, that one does have my attention, I have to say. Now, the East Coast, I want to show you guys something. There's going to be quite a bit of more pickup because of what's been going on up into Oklahoma. And then, of course, we saw Kansas getting hit with the earthquake. I expect to see some quakes, you guys. Possibly, if not Tennessee, we might see something up in Kentucky within the coming 2 weeks. And usually, you guys have never heard me say for a quake to possibly strike within the Tennessee and Kentucky area. Well, I'm definitely putting that at a 50% possibility for the coming 2 weeks. So you guys out there in Tennessee, Kentucky, keep an eye out for at least a minimum 3 mag. Here in this area, 227 kilometers east of Honshu-Napo, Hawaii, and they're getting us 2.69 at 1.53 kilometers in depth. Surprisingly, no bigger quakes. The only biggest quakes I've seen up in Hawaii were the 4 magnitude quakes. That was pretty gnarly for Hawaii to be getting that. But then here's the issue now with, take a look, all this area. Alaska's getting bombarded with not just big quakes. They're getting hit with quite a bit of mid-sized quakes. Meaning these are all within 3.2s, 3.3s. We'll see some 2-pointers, of course. And there's a lot of 1 magnitude earthquakes, which I'm not showing here on the list. I have it only from the higher 2.8s all the way on up. And then, of course, you're seeing here, 2.9 magnitude. Boy, look at this. Snow. Ain't that amazing? And it has. It's been snowing, believe it or not. What a weird time of the year, you guys. Snow. How cool is that? 2.7 kilometers. 2.7 magnitude, excuse me. So you guys gotta get some coffee. So, 2.7 magnitude earthquake, 41.1 kilometers in depth. And then also, here's another one. It keeps telling me to turn on my location area, which to me is fine, but we don't get earthquakes really all the time here in Arizona. Now, there's a 2.7 that struck that area, but then also we have a bunch of more quakes all within on the outside rings of Alaska. Take a look at this. This was 71 kilometers with a 3.1, and this was right on ground. So basically, that's super shallow. I don't think it could get any more shallower than that, because if it gets into the negative, well, then I guess it's going to be air earthquakes, and I never heard of air earthquakes. So if it's -1, then apparently it was an airborne earthquake. I'm being sarcastic. You guys really, but no. Some of you viewers have seen that before. I really don't get it. Um, Literally, it just kind of don't make sense. If it's negative, then to me it seems like it's an airborne earthquake. Now, 4.5, right up in the heart of Venezuela. Venezuela is getting pretty hit, you guys, with some good size amount of magnitude earthquakes. But then also take a look at the pattern through here. All the way from this part of Mexico, the closest part to California, which is Mocan, Mexico. Excuse me if I said that wrong. But then all the way up through here, which is Cruz Grande, and then also coming down even further, which is Santa Maria. And this is just 25 kilometers southwest of Santa Cruz, Mexico, and that was a 4.5 magnitude earthquake. So there is some stuff picking up, you guys. Coming into South America, take a look here. We have Chile. Boy, 3.3 magnitude earthquake. And then following here, we have a 3.8 magnitude earthquake. And then also continuing on even further. Look at this. Here's another one. And it's crazy because they're all within the 3 magnitude range. And then also, here is a good little patch of quakes. 4.0 magnitude striking right up in this main area of Chile. And then also we have another one with a 3.0, following by another good spread right here with another 3.0. So today must be the 3.0 day for the last 24 hours of earthquake activity, which is pretty crazy. But then, well, we don't want to leave this one out. I was mentioning about this to happen, and I should have brought this up on the other earthquake update, and I didn't think we were going to get any quakes here. I was really unsure about this area getting hit. But there was a 5.0 at 33 kilometers in depth, striking right in this area. And I was going to mention to you guys the possibilities of something starting to pick up in through here, but then also come ripping around and start along this whole coastal front area of Cape Town and Port Elizabeth, of the possibilities of receiving some earthquakes. And I did not talk about that one. Maybe I should have. Southwest Indian Ridge. This is another one. 4.7 magnitude earthquake. Almost a 5.0. Probably was a 5.0. But I did want to mention somewhere within this area also, you guys. Surprisingly, I'm really surprised I did not bring that topic up. I don't know why. Interesting. So, continuing all the way up right here. Now, even though we just passed and went through here. But here's what I wanted to show you guys. From right here, take a look. 278 kilometers southwest of Auckland Islands, New Zealand. Basically a 5 magnitude earthquake. Even though it's showing at a 4.6, this was a shallow 10 kilometers in depth. That was a 5.0. Now, continuing back, sorry about that. That was definitely 5.0 though, you guys. Now, for New Zealand, there is a possibility for New Zealand for the week to come that they might get an earthquake within land. And it could be anywhere through New Zealand, but I do see that one coming in. So within the week, you guys, especially those out there in New Zealand, if you guys are within the Christchurch area and as well Wellington, just kind of keep your eyes out open. Even as far out as towards Hamilton, there's a chance you guys could get a quake because of the seismic activity going on within this area. So definitely stay alert and just keep watch. 4.3 magnitude, super deep, 572 kilometers in depth. You guys, that is pretty freaking darn deep. And also, here's another one. And this was a 4.6, but more likely a 5.0 at 127 kilometers in depth. And even following by this other quake, Take a look right here, right next to it, the same one up in Tonga with a 4.6 and 93 kilometers in depth. Will there be any 6 magnitudes? We did talk about it. Yes, there's going to be a 6 magnitude again to be striking through these areas, you guys. There's no doubt about it. We've talked about it. I mentioned this. It's going to be picking up. It's just quiet. Here's one great sign, just right here. A 5.7 magnitude earthquake at only 72.79 kilometers in depth. That is definitely 6 magnitude earthquake activity to come. So this one you want to keep an eye out for what's to come within the week. As far as the following 2 weeks, I think things might start to calm down. But again, because the way how things have been going, we all know the way how these earthquakes work. And now, with all this crazy, whatever, however you want to call it, I'll let you guys put those in your terms. But right now, we are basically on a point where things are going to rack up by the end of the week. Just watch, because things are going to pick up and we're going to be seeing a lot of doozy domino effects going on here. And this is just within Tonga and all the way up as far as into the Philippines. Things are going to be rocking, you guys. So definitely keep a high watch for the area within through here. Especially for Indonesia. They are going to be on a high watch also. Things are just calm right now, but doesn't mean we're not going to see any big quakes to soon happen, because it will. We are definitely seeing that, just because right now Mother Earth is kind of like in a relaxed sleep mode, I guess you could say. And that's definitely going to be one we'll be tripping out for the week. Going to be some big quakes. South Indian Ridge, 5.8, and there it is. Bam. 6.0 magnitude, basically. That's in my terms. We'll put it that way, you guys. This one had just happened, and this is a 5.8 magnitude earthquake, and this is right on the Southeast Indian Ridge. So basically, that was a 6.0. There was no doubt about that one. That was definitely probably a 6.0 magnitude. So keep an eye out. We'll keep you guys updated. Also, I still have some UFO stuff. Boy, you guys, I might be a little off track today with a couple things here. But again, like I was mentioning, a lot of catch up for some UFOs. I have so much stuff right here in front of my face. It's ridiculous. Really cool though. It is. This video will take me probably be about an hour video that I will be uploading here to the channel. So you guys definitely keep an eye out for it. I'll have some earthquake update mixed into with that video, and some other cool stuff with the latest of events. It's just nuts. Wow. What other words to put it? This is IR Vibes. Everyone, lots of love. Heads up high. Be great.